correct, partly incorrect. Right? He's saying that sundry creditors are the group of people to whom the business owes. Right? The business owes. Why does the business owes them? Bank, if I'm taking money from bank, that's a loan to me or overdraft. They cannot be termed as sundry creditor. Sundry creditor term only goes with the people from whom you have purchased the goods or service, taken the services. If you are into the service industry, right? If you purchase the goods from them on credit, to them you have to pay money. ऐसा तो नहीं है हाथ उठा के भाग जाएंगे विजय माल्या जैसा. Yes, no, right? We will definitely pay. We are good people, right? So we will write in the books of accounts that we owe the money to them because of the purchase of goods or services. If you are in the service industry, right? That group of people are called sundry creditors. Clear, sir? Sir, what's your good name, sir?
सिद्धार्थ.
Siddhartha. गौतम भगवान का नाम रख ले क्या? Smile is good, but you have to always keep your mind also present. ठीक है? चलो next. Accounts payable and accounts receivable. It also goes in hand with sundry debtors and creditors. चलो next. What do you mean by assets? And in bracket there are two terms written over there. Fixed and current. What is the difference between fixed and current? Current is the thing that comes in your electricity, right? So हमने डाला तो
Keeps on
current.
changing. Keeps on changing. Value or price.
Keeps on changing. Okay. It can depreciate in future. We are giving example for which? Fixed or current?
Current.
Current. It can depreciate on future.
Fixed asset is buildings.
Yes.
Which can
Current asset is something that you can move from place to place. Machinery. Not that.
like machinery.
Nope.
When you use the asset, then the value decreases. This not.
And that's the example of you're saying correct.
Current.
For which?
Current.
The example is for current.
The example is for current.
Yes.
The example is correct, but the definition is wrong.
What is your
Please listen to it.
Current assets comes under the assets which are within the year, and fixed assets comes under the assets which are used for more than a year.
Example?
Example: fixed assets, buildings, and current assets, cash, and etc.
Right. So the example that you and you, I don't know. I'm not saying that you have been taught incorrect or something like that, but it could be a misslip in your mind. So fixed assets are the assets for which the value decreases with the usage of the time. Value will decrease only if that particular item is there for a longer period of time. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Right? For current assets, तो what will the value increase? Cash है, पैसा है, निकल जाएगा. Yes, no, maybe. Right? If it is a fixed asset, means it is there for a longer period of time. Fixed does not mean a building body. Fixed could be machinery also. It is not related to movable or immovable. Okay? So what definition you were giving is correct, but it is not current. It is a fixed asset definition that you have told. Clear? Yes, no, maybe? Yes? In the same way, liabilities will be there. And for liabilities also, current liability and please tell me the joke also. I will also
अरे नहीं.
చప్పురా నాకు కూడా క్లాస్ కి క్లాస్
और
వాళ్ళు చెప్తున్నా
sir turn and I did not turn the sir back.
But for saying you need not turn also. Your voice will go. Are you able to hear me? I didn't turn, but she can hear. Okay? So liabilities may be, there is a long-term liability and there is a current liability. The current liabilities are liabilities which are being paid off within a span of 1 year or within one accounting year. So next.
Insolvency.
Sure. Tell me the definition or what do you mean by insolvency? What do you understand? Please, I don't like this. Joke is joke, okay? For some time it looks good, but I don't want you to chit chat or talk between yourself. Otherwise, I might have to move you to some other places. Or, thank you very much. To principal's office. Fine. Hmm.
Cannot be converted into cash.
Hmm.
Insolvency.
There's no issues. You tried, it's okay.
When we cannot pay the debts.
Sorry? You're saying correct, tell me. Fine.
When we cannot pay the debts.
When we cannot pay the debts, clap for him. See, you know, that's not any, you're a good boy. It's just that you are sitting in the wrong position. Okay? So when a person's liabilities are more than his assets, when he is not in the position to pay off his debts, that position is called insolvency position. Got it, sir? Got it, ma'am? Yes. Give me a classic example of insolvent person. Vijay Mallya. Okay? Although he is not insolvent, but he is pretending to be insolvent. Chalo, next. What do you mean by expenses?
Salaries which we pay for the workers.
Sir?
Salaries which we pay.
What you are saying is to an extent correct, but initially what you said is salaries that we pay to the workers. For workers, we don't pay salary. For workers, we pay wages. And salaries are operating expenses that we pay in a monthly basis to all.
Expense is for short term and expenditure is for long.
That could be correct, right? So next, fixed expenses. What do you mean by fixed expenses and variable expenses?
Rent.
Sir?
Fixed is rent. Fixed is
Who will change it? What you're saying is correct according to the words that is written. English dictionary meaning could be that, but accounting dictionary meaning is different. Yes, ma'am. You are from accounting background? Okay, no, it's almost learn. Fixed and variable expenses.
Fixed expense.
Fixed means which are fixed like rent. Variable means which changes yearly.
Rent will also change yearly nowadays.
How? But long time.
Long time?
Fixed expense will take longer.
Fixed expenses will take longer.
You told rent will change, but it will not change every month. It takes years after.
Correct. But will that come under this fixed and variable expenses? The example you are giving is correct and it comes under fixed, but the definition or the logic you are giving is incorrect. You are saying correct, but the logical answer is not there. Chalo, I am looking from you, Mr. Jain. Fixed expenses and variable expenses. Give me the answer and the difference. But yeah, it's already 2:45. Already we spent yesterday. Please listen, buddy. Are you able to hear what she said?
No, sir. Voice too low.
Voice.
Variable expenses are those which change according to the direction of a business.
Okay.
Explain.
Yes. Got.
What you understood? Tell.
When the business grows, so the expenses also increases. That's why she told the growth basis, the expenses change.
Did you use growth? No. What you understood is a bit different from what she is saying. Are you able to hear?
Like piece rate system, like when a worker works, the wages are given as per the production he does. Like if he does one production, he will get 10 rupees. If he does 10, then he will get 100 rupees like this. It is a variable.
So this is the example of variable.
Variable.
Give me that in the same way. Give me example of fixed expense. No, you can try. I told you, right? There is nothing called right or wrong answer. We are here to learn. Yeah, constant. Right? Just like salary. Whatever work I do, how much ever work I do, I will not get more than this is what is being told to me. Right? Fixed. So the variable expense will change according to the item or quantity of the item. We are just taking an example of wage, or in the production unit we are taking an example, but that is not the only example. variable changes but fixed are constant. Okay? So no matter how much production you are doing, how much business you are doing, whether your business are going here way, this that, but that are constant expenses. They are called fixed expenses, and if the amount of the expense is changing according to the sale or purchase or according to some criteria, then it is called variable expense. Making sense? Yes, no, maybe? Can I hear?
Yes.
Yes. What do you mean by accrued expenses? Outstanding expenses is outstanding expenses. Difference between outstanding and accrued expenses?
Expenses which are incurred but
Not
yet
received.
not paid.
Very good. Clap for her. There is the principle of it. Okay. So the expenses that has incurred but not yet been paid. So we'll record it. What one of the classic example?
Outstanding salary.
Outstanding salary, commission paid in advance, insurance paid for the year but paid in the mid of the year. Okay? Sure. Next, operational expenses. The expenses that are incurred in the hospital when you are getting operated. No? Chalo, operational expenses. Right? That has been incurred during the regular operation of the business. Normally it comes under P&L account. All the operational expenses will come under the P&L. Done? So you are done with brushing of accounts. Right? We already spent 2 hours yesterday, and still we spent like 40 to 50 minutes today as well. Now let's get into GST. GST is a very dynamic subject. What do you mean by dynamic and static?
Keeps on changing.
Right? Dynamic is very dynamic, means every time it keeps changing. If our finance minister is not getting sleep, if she wakes up at 12 o'clock in the morning, she is not feeling like doing anything else, she will say, "Chalo, ek naya rule bana denge GST." And tomorrow morning it will come in the news. So there is nothing called constant in GST. So whatever I will be teaching you in GST now, if you want to be on top of other people, you have to always be on top of it by reading whatever is coming in the news. I'll tell you the website where you can see the changes that is happening on day-to-day basis as well. The website that we talked yesterday is different from the website what I'm telling now. Right? So yesterday we saw one website. By the way, when does this GST came into picture?
2016.
All new people?
2016.
2016, yes. Yes, ma'am? No issues. July 2016, sir? 2016? Don't know? It's okay, ma'am. What about GST first of all? What do you mean by GST? Yes, on goods and services. Yes, who is new today as well? These 6 people, right? So by the way, GST came into picture on 1st July 2017. May I request you to please make a note of it? When did GST law came into picture or enacted? 1st July 2017. So birthday celebrate करना तो 1st July को celebrate करना GST का. 1st pen is not there, sir. I'll give you pencil, no issues. But I'll not give you cap, so then I'll get you pen cap. 1st July 2017. So does that mean that before 2017, 1st July, there was no tax in India? Was there?
Tax. Direct tax. Sorry, direct tax.
Okay, that's a very good topic that came into picture. So let's talk about it. So what do you mean by direct tax and indirect tax? Okay. Indirect tax is
If we buy something, we are purchasing the chocolate, it is of 10 rupees. If the retailer sells us at 12 rupees.
Are you able to hear, sir?
This is indirect or tax.
So does that not go to government?
That
Both will go to government.
so, but here we are directly paying to the government.
What?
But they-
How?
we
Give
are
me an
having
example of direct tax.
income tax.
Okay, very good. Can we clap for her? Difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Definition, example.
Direct tax is a tax which we pay directly to the government.
How and why?
If I own a business, I
Hmm.
directly pay my taxes to the government. But indirect tax deals with when I purchase a good or anything in the shop. So there is an included tax percentage on that. Which so I don't need to pay the tax saying that I bought this, PC. So I don't need to tell individually that I bought it. It's already included in there. So that comes under indirect tax.
Your understanding is correct, but I would request you to refine your answer. ठीक है? You have understood the concept, but when you go for interview, you are in which class, sir? First year, second year, final year? First year. Okay, because in another 2 years you will go for some interview. If you are looking for job, if you want to go for business or you want to start a new setup or startup, I would be happy. But if you are going for job, I would request you to refine your answers. You have understood the concept, but this is not the answer that they will buy. Okay? ठीक है? Would you like to try, ma'am? Direct tax, indirect tax. No issue, sir.
Direct tax is taxation which we have to pay to the government on income. And then GST is something which has to pay by the consumer. Ultimate consumer has to pay when he purchases goods or services.
Very good, clap for him. ठीक है? Should I try 3D वाला Amir Khan? I know I am not Amir Khan. I am just trying to say the answer in English style. Okay? Right? Direct tax is a tax which a taxpayer directly pays to the government on his income. Everybody said the same thing. A classic example is income tax. There is no question of buying or selling anything. Whatever you are doing, whatever field you are in, whether you are doing business, started a new company, started a new startup, or you are into service, are you a CA, a lawyer, a batsman, a singer, an actor, producer, anybody in the world. Okay? If he has made some money out of his operations or from anything, if he has his net worth or his income has increased after certain level, he is supposed to pay to the government certain percentage of tax that of the income. Now what is the latest percentage or what is the latest slab? 12 lakh rupees for?
Yes.
Exempted, 0%.
Till 12 lakh, we do
0%.
not pay any tax, right? According to the new regime or old regime?
New regime.
Do you know there is something called old regime and new regime? Everybody heard about it? New regime, old regime, right? And there is a new tax law that has been tabled and has been passed in the parliament. What is that called? Direct Tax Code 2025. Right? And there was already Income Tax Act which is there in the picture. Now that will be converted into Direct Tax Code. Anyhow, that will take another 1 year to come into practice. Direct Tax Code. Fine? So this is about the direct tax. Now what do you mean by indirect tax? This is also being paid by all the taxpayers, but not directly to the government, as been told in different definitions that you have given. Right? As he was giving the example, he was very correct, but just wanted to refine what he's saying. Whenever you purchase or sell anything, either with the intention to sell or with the intention to consume, there is a difference. Am I making sense, ma'am? There is a question mark on your face, that's the reason I am saying. Okay. You understood about direct? Let's talk about indirect again. So what I am trying to say is, if I am purchasing anything with the intention to either resell it or consume it. Simple English? Yeah. Okay. If I own a FMCG shop, not own, I work for in FMCG shop, right? My brother's own it. So if I am purchasing Lux soap, or should we take Santur Mummy example? Santur, right? If I am purchasing Santur, no, Santur for Mummy होता है ना, मेरे लिए नहीं. So Lux is okay. Life is Medimix. ठीक है, चलो. Let's go for Medimix, right? So if I am purchasing Medimix soap, if I am using that soap for personal use, or if I am purchasing it to resell it, how much I will use? I will use one soap in 1 month, right? If I am purchasing in bulk, like for 1 case, 2 case, 3 case, 1 dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, I will not use that much, right? I am not that dirty. If I wash my hands once in a day, that's getting enough, right? If I take bath twice a day, that's it, right? So if I am purchasing an item, either with the intention to resell or to consume. Now you understood, ma'am? Sure, right? While I am purchasing the item, the seller of the goods, who is the seller of the goods from whom I am purchasing? The seller of the goods will take some amount from me. Yes, no, maybe. Definitely he will take. Nothing is free in this world. Even free is not free. Something is there in it. Yes, right? That person will take some amount. That amount includes the basic cost of the item. Am I making sense? That amount includes the basic cost of the item, the expense that is incurred by him to manufacture that item. Let me repeat. Is it getting bounced? Bouncers हो रहा क्या? Okay ना? लेवल में आ रहा ना? Bouncers हो रहा तो खड़े हो जाओ. ठीक है, आपके लेवल दिमाग में आ जाएगा. So, whenever a person is purchasing an item with the intention to either consume or resell is, he has to pay certain consideration. That consideration is taken by the seller. That includes the amount that is incurred by him to manufacture that item and the profit of that person. Also, it includes the tax being levied by the government. So, for your understanding, as of now, GST on soaps is 18%. So, say suppose to manufacture Medimix soap, he has incurred 100 rupees. He would sell me for 120 rupees. 100 rupees for the cost of the item for manufacturing it. 18 rupees is the GST. 2 rupees could be his profit. Making sense? So that 18 rupees he will not tell me that I am taking it for you for the tax. Although it has to be shown on the bill or the invoice, and he can say, but I am not paying directly to the government. Right? He is taking it from me and he is paying it to the government. Is it making sense? Correct? Yes, no, maybe? Yes? Are you understanding, ma'am? Right? So, indirectly it is going to the government. This tax is indirectly being taken from the general people. That is the reason it is called indirect taxation. Yes? Yes? So, the classic example of direct tax is income tax. The classic example of indirect tax is GST. Making sense? Yes, no, maybe? When was the GST enacted?
2017, July 1st.
Did I hear January?
July.
Okay. So 1st July 2017, GST came into picture. Why GST came into picture? Or before GST, what all tax was there? There was VAT, value added tax. Prior to that, there was TOT, T-O-T, turnover tax. Right? And prior to that, it was sales tax. This was for the goods. For the services, there used to be service tax. There used to be octroi. What do you mean by octroi?
Toll tax.
Have you heard the term octroi anytime? Didn't hear? ఎప్పుడైనా విన్నారా?
It's like a toll tax.
Toll tax.
Tell them so that they will also understand. No, it's okay.
It's the toll tax.
So when I am driving my vehicle from this place to other place, the toll that I give, that's called octroi.
Example.
Goods.
The goods which are going out of the state.
Are you able to hear, sir?
Yes.
For your understanding, I use the word toll. For octroi, please don't use the word toll. Okay. Octroi is the tax which is being levied by the state government whenever the goods is going out of the boundary of the state government or coming into the boundary of the state government. Okay? Now that has been merged into GST. Chalo. There is one website called www.gst.gov.in. Type it on your systems. Open Chrome. Yesterday the batch did it, now you can do it. www, you can go for guest mode. नीचे left side, नीचे left. हाँ. चलो www dot gst dot gov dot in. Got it? gst.gov.in. Click on it. Open that first site. This one. Yes, ma'am. So whenever I say www, you should type on the address bar, not here, on the search bar. यहाँ पे directly जाओ. ठीक है. www.gst.gov.in. I have power glasses. I forgot it at home. Would you mind if I wear my goggles? They are also powered. Please don't feel that I am like fool by in the class that I am. Okay? Can I? Yes. Chalo. She already thought that I am fool. These are also powered. I forgot my glasses. ठीक है? www.gst.gov.in. This is the official website of GST department. As long as you are doing business or doing anything that involves taxation, you need to know about this website. Go up, don't scroll down, go up. Okay? Right? Everybody on GST website? Right? So we'll talk about this website and I'll explain step by step all the tabs that are there in later classes. But I just wanted you to see this, right? So whenever you open an account in Gmail or in Facebook or in Instagram or any website, so what you do first? You have to register yourself. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, sir. I'm hard at hearing, guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay? So in the same fashion, you have to also register yourself on GST website. Okay? So on the right hand side, do you see two tabs over there? Register and login.
Yes, sir.
So when you are first timer, you have just started your business. So you will first register your business on this site. After you register, normally if you register on Gmail, what you do? You get a username and password. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
And you will get a Gmail account. So that any person can send you a mail to you. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? In the same fashion, once you register yourself on GST website, you give all your details and you will get a GSTIN. Please make a note of it in your books. Once you register yourself on GST website with the GST department, they will allot you GSTIN. GSTIN. Normal language, once you register yourself with the GST department on GST website, they will allot you GSTIN and username and password to log in to GST website. Done? Now what is the full form of GSTIN?
Identification number.
Please make a note of it. Goods and services. Full form of GSTIN. Goods and services tax identification number. Yes? And then you will get a username and password on your official email ID that you give at the time of registration. Yes, sir. ठीक है? Goods and services tax identification number. Done. At the time of registration, they require you to give some important documents that has to be uploaded on site, right? So some of the items or some of the documents that you have to give is first your PAN card. What do you mean by PAN? Yes, sir. Have you ever heard about PAN? Yes. What do you mean by that? By the way, your hairstyle is very good. Really?
My
हाँ, क्या बोले?
Prabhas.
प्रभास का ऐसे रहता है क्या? I am not fan of
He
Telugu.
is fan of that one.
There is nothing wrong in being a fan of a person. हाँ चलो भाई लाज भैया. What's your good name, sir?
Sahil.
Sahil. Sahil भाई चलो. What do you mean by PAN card? PAN. Don't tell me यार. Sahil. You look so intelligent and you don't know the meaning of PAN.
Don't know, sir.
Never heard about PAN.
I've heard about it, sir, but I don't know the abbreviation of it.
No, I'm not talking about the abbreviation. Whatever understanding you know, whatever you know. By the way, I'm not talking about the pan that has been thrown on you by your mother. The morning. No, na. Pan card wala pan, है ना? Not that frying pan. Right? चलो, हाँ भाई. What's your good name, sir? Siddharth. I'm bad at names, sorry, so I will keep asking all this 20 days. One day I forgot my name also. And even my birthday. चलो. हाँ. Don't know. Don't eyes of free. You are 18 years. So there are certain documents that you need to prepare at the age of 18. What are they?
PAN, driving license.
So if you don't know PAN, why will you do it?
Done, sir.
Done also. अरे वो. Must be a son of a rich person then. That's the reason पापा बोले मैं बना दिया सर मेरे को नहीं मालूम. पापा बोले तू बना दे मैं फोन गिफ्ट करता हूँ आईफोन. ठीक है पापा बना लो. हाँ? है ना उतना ही चेकेस.
Sir, I only went and
You only went and did.
yes, sir.
Why do you did? What is the requirement of it? What is the use of it? What is the importance of it? Sorry? So, what you are saying is very correct. Don't murmur. Tell it aloud.
To apply for any ATM card.
Very good. Correct. Very good. Chalo. From yesterday's class, somebody can explain me PAN.
ID card for business. Whenever it is direct tax to the government. The government will check from that card.
Wait, Anna. Move from that place and come in.
Go.
Chalo. Very good. Anna, Mr. Agarwal. Tell me what is PAN. Let's not waste much. No, sir. I want you to see this.
Sir, it's a permanent account number and identification to pay the tax at the time of tax, sir.
Did you understand that? No. She didn't understand, sir. Sorry.
मेरी गलती नहीं है सर.
अरे आपकी गलती नहीं है मेरे तो ट्राई करो ना सर कि ऐसा बोलो कि वो अंडरस्टैंड हो. Yes, ma'am. Would like to try it? I have 2 eyes here and चलो चलो. Are you able to hear बेटा? अच्छा. Is she mixing something? Is she mixing something?
GST number.
I think you are mixing something. चलो भाई हमारा भाई बोलेगा. बोलिए सर. Are you able to hear, sir?
Permanent account number given by income tax to know whether they are paying tax properly or not.
हाँ? क्या बोला?
It is the account number which is given by the income tax department for payment of tax,
हाँ.
for recording your tax payment.
Understood. So what you understood? In your words.
Identification of a person.
So PAN abbreviation is permanent account number. Whenever a citizen of India is liable to pay direct tax. Did we understand about direct and indirect tax? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Right? So whenever a citizen of India is liable to pay direct tax, he or she can pay the direct tax to the government under a number which is allotted to him. It is a 10-digit alphanumeric number. This number is allotted to him to identify the person who is paying the tax. For example, Shiv Kumar Agarwal has to pay tax to the government. There are n number of Shiv Kumar Agarwals in India. Even the last name also matches. Shiv Kumar Agarwal. Sometimes the father names also matches. Sometimes the date of birth also matches. Right? So the government will not understand from which Shiv Kumar Agarwal they have received the amount of tax. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes,
right?
sir.
So just like your roll number being allotted to you in class, a Aadhaar number is being allotted as a part of citizenship in your India. A PAN, permanent account number, is allotted to each taxpayer, even if he is not a taxpayer yet. मतलब अभी तक वो tax payable नहीं है. Still he can apply for a PAN number. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Making sense, ma'am? Is it clear now? Will you be able to answer what do you mean by PAN to any person now? Yes? It is always a 10-digit alphanumeric number. Always a 10-digit alphanumeric number. So PAN card is one important document which you have to give to the Department of
Income tax.
Indirect Taxes, which is GST department. Now when I am saying that whenever you want to or have to pay direct tax to the government, there is a document or an identity given to you. Please listen to me carefully. Whenever you have to pay direct tax to the government, there is a number which is been allotted to you, under which number you can pay a direct tax to the government. In the same way, whenever you have to pay any indirect tax to the government, please listen carefully what I am trying to say. I am trying to make it very simple so that everybody can understand. And you should be able to tell others as well. So whenever you are collecting and have to pay indirect tax to the government, you are again allotted a number which is called GSTIN. Making sense? Everybody is understanding? Easy to understand? Mr. Siddharth? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? So while applying for GSTIN, you have to give certain documents and certain information. One of the important document is PAN. The second important document is Aadhaar card. The third important document is your rent receipt or the
Electricity.
ownership of the place proof. Whether you own it or you keep it on rent, but you have to prove it. Where you want to do that business. Where would be your office? The fourth important thing is your phone number. Primary phone number. Where you will get all the O2Ps while doing transactions on GST, while paying tax, while filing returns. The fifth is your Gmail account. Sixth, nowadays they have also said that you have to do geocoding. What do you mean by geocoding? Have you heard about geocoding? What is the full form of geo? Let's split the word. Geological, geography, right? So where exactly is your shop? On Google Maps you have to geocode that. Latitude, longitude, कहाँ है बताना उसको. Now it is compulsory as well. Geocoding of your business or shop, right? Another important thing is at which bank your primary account is attached, or where you will be having your primary account, your account number, branch code, blah blah blah, IFSC, everything you have to give. Right? After you give all this information to the department, they will allot you what?
GSTN.
GSTIN. Now what, sir? Any question? Now what all GSTIN will have? Yesterday's member knows GSTIN is a 15-digit alphanumeric number. Please make a note of it. GSTIN is a 15-digit alphanumeric number. Digit alphanumeric number. Alphabet number numeric number. That is the word I have to use. अब सिद्धार्थ को शॉर्ट में बोलो तो कैसा होगा? मेकअप सिंह की मूवी याद आती है। Alphanumeric number. Alpha. But he is asking me to wait. He is trying to get some. So आप क्यों माइंड अटके सो रहेंगे? मैं आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा, आप माइंड नहीं कैसा? By the way, it is GS better. GIE. ठीक है? It is a 15-digit number. Like your phone number is a
10 digit.
PAN number is a
10 digit.
Ma'am, only 5 minutes back I said ma'am. You did right, ma'am. Please right, ma'am. PAN card is a 5-digit alphanumeric number. 10 digits. Did I say 5?
Yes, sir.
10. PAN card is a 10-digit alphanumeric number. GSTIN is a
15 digit.
Why I am stressing it so much? Yesterday also we spent like 15 minutes on this. Because when you are going to work in Tally, you have to write the GSTIN number of sundry data and sundry creditors. And it has to be a 15-digit number. If you write 14-digit number, it will not take. You will get error. That is the reason. See guys, whatever I am saying in this theory classes, don't get bored and don't sleep. Because this theory is directly or indirectly attached to your Tally. If you miss anything here, in Tally you will face problems when you are doing practicals. अरे नहीं आ रहा, सर नहीं आ रहा, अरे नहीं आ रहा. अरे भाई theory class सुने तो आता था. ठीक है? Okay? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Sure. So GSTIN and क्या नाम? So he is coining a new, and you know. It consists of 15-digit number. हाँ, ठीक है. So sorry sir. So 15 digit can be 15 alphabets or 15 numbers also, right? इसीलिए complicated कर. It includes both beta, alphabets and number. That's the reason I am saying alphanumeric number. ठीक है, it's your choice. चलो, what all these 15 digits include? Who will tell for me? Fast. अरे यहाँ कुछ हो गया. आज कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा, कल का ही डिवाइस. हाँ.
State code. चलो who will explain फटाफट. State code.
चलो 15 digit में first 2 digits.
State code.
For the newcomers today, okay? The first 2 digits are always state code. So how many states do we have? Yesterday's homework nobody did.
28.
नहीं homework तो ये था नहीं, वो तो हम कल ही देख लिया था गूगल पे.
State codes of
हाँ.
different states.
हाँ, बोल तो रहा भाई, करा क्या? टाइम नहीं मिला सर. गर्लफ्रेंड से बात करने.
नहीं सर, दुकान पे बैठे थे सर.
अरे वेरी गुड. क्लैप फॉर हर. हाँ, क्लैप फॉर हर. चलो. So she has done. So that's the reason people say that girls are very stupid. So she has written all the state codes of different states and union territories in India, right? So every state is given a code. For example, Telangana is given a code The code is
36.
36, right? Then Andhra is given a code, the code is 37. Maharashtra is given a code, the code is 27. Jammu and Kashmir is given a code 1. Himachal Pradesh 2. Just like this, all the states are given a code. So why this is important? So whenever you register your business with the government of India, since GST is one nation, one tax, they will not bifurcate according to the place of the business. They will not say that you cannot do this business or you cannot do this. They will only know this by the GSTI number 2 codes, from which place you are doing business. Understood? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Yes, no, maybe? Yes. So what are the first 2 words or first 2 digits of GSTI and state code? So for all the newcomers today, please try to make out all the state codes of India. All the states and union territories. Like states, union territories are also being given codes. Okay? Now next 10 digits are the PAN number of the owner or the proprietor or the business. Why I am using these 3 words? Because PAN card is not only given to a person, PAN card is also being given to companies or shops. You can apply for a PAN card of a business. Do you know that? Okay? And PAN card is also can be applied for Hindu undivided family. Right? Individuals, group of persons, trust, NGOs, companies, private limited companies, public limited companies. They can have their own PAN cards. LLPs also. What do you mean by LLP?
Limited liability.
Limited liability partnership. Okay? So the next 10 digits after 2, that is from digit 3 to digit 12 is the PAN card of the business or the owner or the proprietor. Got it? Yes, no, maybe. Right? Everybody knows what is a PAN card now?
Yes.
Now what is the 14th digit?
Number of business holds.
Is that the 14th digit?
13.
Presence of mind. I was just checking whether you are in class or not. What is this? So 13th digit is
Number of businesses sold.
for the newcomers. It is not compulsory that I own only one business, right? I can have a FMCG shop, I can have a boot shop, I can have a garment shop, I can have a textile shop, I can do a number of businesses. Yes, no, maybe. But how will the government know, or will the government give you the same GSTI number for all? Or will the government give you different GSTI number? Because the PAN card of a person can be one only. Every citizen of India who is liable to pay tax to the government applies for a PAN card, is given only one PAN card. He will not be given a second PAN card. But that does not imply that he cannot do a second business? Yes, no, maybe? Is that making sense what I am saying? Yes? So if the person is doing a second business or another shop he is opening, so he will be given same GSTI, just that the 13th digit will change. The first business will be given number 1 over there. If he is opening or applying for second business, there it is given number 2. Let's play the game of yesterday. So first business 1, second business 2, third business 4th business 5, 5th business 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th business.
Alphabet.
Right? If I give 10, then the number will increase to 16. What I said in the beginning, GSTI is a 15-digit alphanumeric number. So after 9th business, if you are opening a 10th business and getting it registered, then it will come under as an alphabet. How many alphabets do we have in English?
26.
Right? So an individual PAN card holder can have up to 35 GSTINs. Why I am saying 35? 26 alphabets, 9 numbers. 9 plus 25?
35.
Correct? Individual PAN. Why I am saying this is, you might be asked this question. It's good to know, yeah. Even if you are not been asked. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Chalo. Then what is the 14th digit?
Default number.
By default it is Z. Z. By the way, Z is UK pronunciation, Z is US pronunciation. When you will talk phonetics or when you go for advanced learning of English language, yes.
Z.
And what is the last digit?
Check some digit. This are the digit.
Some check digit which is being used by the department, which is not known to us. Some departments will give, or some area department will give you something, or some other will give you something. Okay? So GSTI is a
15 digit.
15 digit
Alphanumeric
alphanumeric number. First two digits are
State code.
the second. Next 10 digits are
Number.
13,
Number of business sold
14,
by default.
15.
Check some digit by default.
Clear? Any doubt? Any check code is being seen like for computer. You use the software. You don't know how the software is being used at the background. When they are coding the software, they use some language, right? For easy understanding or to gather some information. In the same way, GSTI department, according to their permutations and combinations, they give a code to every GSTI. Number or alphabet? It could be anything. It could be anything. Number or alphabet. Okay? Done? चलो अब आज की क्लास शुरू करेंगे?
Yes, sir.
चलो एक ब्रेक ले लेंगे 2 मिनट्स का. Go out and come back in another 3 minutes. We don't have time. So already